Hello and welcome to another Edubyte. This is Rick the Hijo Benya, and today is the 8th day of August 2018. So that's 8 8 2018. Cool, man. I like that. Anyway, uh, today I'm bringing you a special discussion about a concept called Accommodation Party. It turns out that we are really easy to fool. I'm going to show you something, and you probably already know about this, but this is a checkbook, and I'm covering up stuff here, the numbers. But you see that little MP there? I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, it's too blurry, but that's a micro print, right? So there's a little line there that, and a lot of you probably already know this, but there's a line there that's made up of words. If you look at it under a microscope or take a glass and look through it, you'll see that it actually says authorized signature over and over and over again. And that's because the Federal Reserve won't allow check makers to make these checks without having that line on there, because it actually proves that you are an accommodation party by having that line on there. Because first of all, it's ambiguous, and second of all, you're signing as a surety. Okay? And if you have ever read the definition of surety before, that is not something that you want to be. But nevertheless, we all have been surety. But I'd like to read for you the definition of accommodation party. This applies to everything that we've been talking about on the House of Hidalgo show, the God and Wrestling Connection. Okay? Very applicable. And I'll get into the application of it later. But accommodation party. Someone who signs on behalf of another for the purpose of benefiting the party that they're signing for, who does not directly benefit of the value obtained by the accommodated party. So you're performing for someone else who receives the benefit. You receive nothing. Okay? So you're not a maker, you're not a drawer, you're not an acceptor. You're a party with an anomalous role, very important word, in the endorsement process. Anomalous. So I asked Google to help me define the word anomalous. And this is what Google said. Deviating from what is standard, normal, or expected. Now, that doesn't sound like a really dangerous definition until you realize that the word or is there. See, because if the word and was there, then it would have to, all three of them would have to be present in order for it to be justifiably used. But because the word anomalous takes the word or, so something that is outside of the standard, outside of the norm, or outside of expectations. Think about that for a second. Do you suppose the Treasury of the United States or the Federal Reserve, either one, have expectations? Do you think that they presume you to be an expert in commercial paper? I actually do think that. When you are of age, among the age of the majority, and you're allowed to open up checking accounts and do all the kind of things that anybody else can do, all right? There's an expectation on you that you know what you're doing, right? It's a presumption. So someone who's taking an anomalous role would be somebody who's doing something outside of expectation, right? Think about that. This is going to get way more dangerous. It's all about the blood. Yep, that's the slogan in the ministry I operate and with the products that I buy. Hi, I'm Rick Tehijo Binya, and I'm the host of the House of Hidalgo show on YouTube. If you're looking to promote your health with CBD oils, you're looking at a booking. Book greenflowerbotanicals.com for your health needs and use the link provided in the comments section of this video, because doing so will help you cleanse your blood and promote the blood of Jesus to the world. Just join our Healthy for the Blood campaign by ordering through the link below, and a percentage of the sale will benefit my ministry. It's all about the blood. Here's the rub. Here's where it really breaks down and starts to kick your butt. The Accommodation Party bears full liability for the accommodated party and stands to gain nothing by participating. So why would you want to participate, right? Yet we all do. We all have participated by the way that we sign our documents, by the way that we sign our instruments, by the way that we sign applications, by the way that we sign permission slips, by the way that we sign doctor's notes, by the way that we do all the things that we've ever done in our entire life. We have basically been accommodating parties. And now, the most major rub is this. And this is found in UCC, Article 3, 419. Note 3, Paragraph 2. It's 6 words that's going to just make you throw up. The accommodation party is always a surety. That's 7 words, by the way. The accommodation party is always a surety. Now, let's read the definition for surety, just in case you've forgotten. Surety is a person who takes responsibility for another's performance of an undertaking. So you're speeding down the road. You see the blue lights behind you. Stops you on the side of the road. He comes up to the window and he says, "Let me see your license, insurance, and registration." Maybe not in that order, but that's what he says. Well, what's the license say? What does the registration say? And what does the insurance say? Whose name is on there? Your name? Well, better rethink that. That's not your name. That's the accommodated party's name. You see? That's the name that is the fiction that you do commerce with. It is your vessel. Okay? You have done commerce with that vessel over and over and over again your entire life. You've used a certain number that's hyphenated like this, 3 numbers, hyphen 2 numbers, hyphen 4 numbers. And you have used that number associated with that fictional title your whole life. Right? I have. Until a couple years ago, but I have. Right? So what does that mean? If his name, if the fictional entity's name is written on all of those instruments, who's the accommodated party when you sign? Who's the accommodation party? Who's making the accommodation? Me, right? The flesh and blood. I sign it. And I am the accommodation party. I'm the one that says, you know what? I'm going to accommodate that. All right? I'm going to take ownership of it. I am going to take personal responsibility for the performance of that guy. Surety, you just signed up to be responsible for everything that the guy did. Why? Because you thought it was you, right? You thought you had the obligation. The obligation is not on you. The obligation is on the other guy. The obligation is on the all caps name, not on you at all. But you just took responsibility for it, and now guess what? You're going to face fines, possibly jail time, right? Because you decided to step in as a nice guy and be an accommodating party, right? Do you see what's going on here? Now, the application. By the way, UCC 3-419, Note 3, Paragraph 2. Go read that for yourself. Don't trust me. It's 7 words. Really important. Anyway, how does this apply? Well, good Lord, this is how it applies. It applies because every single time you sign your name to a document that's under some authority, right, you're obligating yourself to the authority you're signing under. Unless you do something that specifically endorses the instrument so that they understand what capacity you're actually operating in, that you're totally separate from this guy, that you're a representative of this guy, that you're an agent. So, I have a card that I made out, and I'm looking for it. I'm hoping that I can find it relatively quickly here. Ah, there it is. That is going to be how I endorse things for the rest of my life. What did I just do by endorsing it that way? Well, I was not anomalous. See, if I was anomalous, if I were performing in an anomalous role, that would make me an accommodation party, right? Well, I'm not anomalous because I'm not performing outside of the expected. Because it is expected that you're going to endorse your document in such a way that you reveal your true character. You see, that's what they've been, that's the trick all along. I credit Yusuf L. Okay, I've never met the guy. One day I want to shake his hand. He has given us some really good information over the years. But Yusuf L., thank you. You've given us amazing information that literally can save people's lives. Because we are not the accommodation party. We are not accommodating a fiction. We are acting as an agent thereof for a particular purpose. Not to incur liability, but to sign off and allow the transaction to take place out of his account. Did you know that the all caps letter name has an account? It does. You can't tell me otherwise. Because guess what? Remember that check? Whose name is that? Oh yeah, all capital letters. By the way, that wasn't my address. That's an old check. But you see that? Goodness gracious. Whose account is it? Whose obligation is it? Why should I take the obligation? And then on top of that, go read House Joint Resolution 192. Go read Public Law 7310. Go read some of these things, and you can tell me who carries the obligation for that creation. Because that creation is not me. I'm not performing as the accommodated party. As the Accommodation Party. I am performing as a representative, as a authorized representative. How am I authorized? Think about that for a second. Why is it important to say authorized? What if I just say I'm a representative? Don't we send representatives to Congress all the time? Don't we put representatives in government all the time? Right? So, are they us? No, but they present us. They're supposed to, right? So, in actuality, they are agents. So I am an agent for this all capital letter name that looks like mine, but it's not. I'm just an agent, and I'm just telling you that, dear U.S. Treasury, take care of that situation, okay? Take care of it. So, I think that's probably about as far as I want to go today. But I think this is really important. Okay, really important. So I'm going to stop right there, and I look forward to the day when I get to shake your hand. Thank you for being a patron of mine, and thank you for putting up with these crazy videos. God bless you. Have a great day. Signing out, Rick Dehijo Piña.